Blue Ridge City Council will meet in special session at 7 p.m. on Tuesday, September 23rd, 2025 at the Blue Ridge Community Center located at 200 West Tilton, Blue Ridge, Texas, with the following items on the agenda for discussion. No action will be taken on any of the items listed below. Item 1, call to order, roll call. Wendy Mattingly. Here. David Apple.
Here.
Trent Sissom.
Here.
Linda Brawley.
Here.
And Rhonda Williams, present. We will also do the pledges of allegiance, if you don't mind.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Thank you.
Item number 2 is public comment. It appears we don't have any tonight. Item 3, proclamations and items of interest. A is proclamation for Constitution Week, September 17th through the 23rd, 2024.
Oh, 2025, that's my bad.
2025, sorry. I'll read the proclamation.
Okay.
Proclamation by the Mayor of the City of Blue Ridge, Texas, to all to whom this presents shall come greetings. Whereas the Constitution of the United States of America, the guardian of our liberties, embodies the principles of limited government in a republic dedicated to rule by law. And whereas September 17, 2025 marks the 238th anniversary of the framing of the Constitution of the United States of America by the Constitutional Convention. And whereas it is fitting and proper to accord official recognition to this magnificent document in its memorable anniversary and to the patriotic celebrations which commemorate it. Whereas Public Law 915 guarantees the issuance of a proclamation each year by the President of the United States of America, designated September 17th through the 23rd as Constitution Week. Now therefore, I, Rhonda Williams, Mayor of the City of Blue Ridge, Texas, do hereby declare and proclaim September 17th to 23rd, 2025 as Constitution Week, and ask our citizens to reaffirm the ideals the framers of the Constitution had in 1787 by vigilantly protecting the freedoms guaranteed to us through this guarantee of our liberties. Thank you.
Should we get a quick picture? Yeah.
Okay. So we have all the council around for sure.
Kodak moment.
Kodak. Do we want to do it front or out in the
Front of the flag?
front of the flag? Yeah, that would be there. Okay. Thank you.
Hey, smile. Thank you.
Thank you all. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Appreciate your work. Thanks. Thank you for having me. Item B is the citywide garage sale, October 24th through the 26th. We'll have flyers. I think that's a wonderful idea.
And Crystal did the flyer. I just didn't put the date in until y'all said something, yay or nay on the date. So
I make a motion that we approve the garage, citywide garage sale for October 24th through 26th.
Motion by Wendy, do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
thank you.
I'll read and thank you. You want to just go over it? Okay. Yeah, item number 4 is all about you, Vance.
So the city of Council of the City of Blue Ridge is considering adoption of a property tax rate of 0.429606 per the $100 evaluation for the fiscal year 25 through 26. What this means for taxpayers: the average taxable homestead value in 2025 is $98,411. The tax on the average homestead at the proposed rate, 0.429606, is $423. The tax on the average homestead at the 2024 rate, 0.528548, is $520. The change for the average homeowner is $97, a reduction of 18.6%. The total levy on all properties. The 2024 total taxable value was $98,324,924. The 2024 levy at the 0.528548 was $519,694. The 2025 total taxable value is $126,847,173. The 2025 levy at the 0.429606 rate is $543,992. The change in levy is $24,298, or 4.7% increase. The required comparison rates: the non-new revenue rate was 0.444706. The voter approval rate is the 0.429606, and the diminished rate is 0.811723. The proposed tax rate of 0.429606 is below the no new revenue rate, equal to the voter approval rate, which means the city is not required to hold an election on this rate. The increase in levy is due to new properties added to the tax roll and value growth, not an increase in the tax rate. The average homestead will see a tax increase compared to last year's rate.
Item number 5, tax rate for public hearing. The public hearing will receive comments regarding proposed 2025 property tax rate 0.429606 per 100 of assessed valuation taxable property within the incorporated limits of the city of Blue Ridge. That will be 707. Close that. 707. Item 6, consider and act on ordinance 2025-0923-001, approving the 2025 certified property tax values, levy taxes, and fixing and adopting a tax rate on all taxable property within the corporate limits of the city at the rate of 0.429606 per $100 assessed value.
Make a motion that we approve item number 6.
Shall we do I have a second? Sure. All in favor? Item number 7, consider and act upon resolution 2025-0923-002, acknowledging and ratifying the adoption of the fiscal year 2025-2026 annual budget will require raising more revenue and property taxes in the previous fiscal year and ratifying the property tax increase reflected in the budget.
I'll make a motion that we approve resolution 2025-0923-002.
Second. Second. Seconds, all in favor? Item number 8. Consider and act upon adoption of a resolution of the city of Blue Ridge, Texas, consenting to the annexation of certain land located at the Natchez County Survey, abstract number 557, Collin County, Texas, into Blue Meadow Municipal Utility District number 2, the Collin County, or Blue Meadow Municipal Utility District number 4, Collin County.
This is the one that was misprinted on the last.
How about one? Okay. I'll make the motion to approve item number 8.
Yes. Motion by Trent, do I have a second?
Yep.
Second by David. All approved? Ready to vote?
Against?
I'll put it. Item number 9, consider discuss for legal proposals and act upon the selection of a firm for the city of Blue Ridge's comprehensive plan.
So we got 3 proposals. Today, Joey should have given you the references. Did you put that in? So you got it this afternoon before the meeting. Contacts and references, that is what they said about each individual company. I will mention on the Westward reference, if you see the bond, Westwood did not do that project. Yet they, put them as a reference. Westwood did is bought the company that did the project for Levon. So they included it as a reference, but when I contacted the Levon city manager, we discussed it, try to figure what happened, what went wrong, so we figured out it was bought, but the people who were with that company, Peloton, is no longer with Westwood. So that was like an employee reference because the people who did the project no longer there. So that's I'd say the negative on one of the references is they didn't do the project. But with any reference, right, they're always going to say good things. They're going to get the people who like the work they done. So obviously, always take that with a grain of salt. With Unity, if you notice, they didn't give us a price point. They didn't follow the process correctly at all. That we put to the newspaper and what we approved as the city council. They sent it to me, I contacted them saying, hey, here's how the RFP process is supposed to go. You're supposed to give me a list of all these things. They kind of told me we don't do the traditional approach when it comes to comprehensive plans. We do it with it differently. So I would say that's a little bit of a knock on them. They were unwilling to follow the process that we requested. Obviously, they didn't have good references, but obviously take that with a grain of salt. And then I know Joni had notes that if she wants to talk about, she can. I think, when discussing with the references and trying to get a better understanding of the things they have done, I believe MHS might be the best suit for the city of Blue Ridge. They've done smaller towns that are more community focused, they're personable. One of the references said they're down to earth people. So they understand the area. They have offices in Tyler and Dallas, so they understand the growth that is coming and how to best prepare for it. I think, one thing to mention in all 3 of these, the not to exceed costs, when I calculated it down to, okay, the cost of this city's population, how much it finally costs them, when it comes down to it, it is at our 75 market, not a lot below. I mean, you saw LeBron was 50,000, and that was just a couple years ago. One I talked to, their budget is like 25,000, 50,000, and they're a whole year in, and it was clipped, and they're only at 25,000. Now, granted, that's a little bit of delay on the city's part. I gave the comprehensive plan documents to confirm, but it goes to show they're just doing it as a safeguard in case we decide to do a whole lot more than what we requested of them. And so, when I look into the hourly rate, MHS is cheaper, but good quality still. If you're doing I didn't get a cost, so I can't tell you how much it's going to be hourly or not to exceed cost. If they didn't give one, in my email from them, they said they've seen it going up as much as 500,000, see 300,000, 200,000, but we can do it for as little as 50,000 if that's in the city's budget. So, I didn't like that gray area much personally. I like the ones that gave us a cost of the hourly rates, and whose references deal with communities our size or big cities, or a community that's a little bit bigger, but it's dealing with the struggles we have to do it in a smaller scale. So my recommendation, staff recommendation, with Joni, you can see in the back, is to go with NHS. But obviously, this is your choice. This is not staff's choice. We go with whoever you want to go with, who you feel more comfortable with, and we'll rock with them. And, we communicated with them, we get the process done efficient and in a timely manner. Yes, ma'am.
I have a couple questions.
Okay,
This pertains to any of them that we select.
right.
I mean, I saw the cost
Mhm.
and the hourlies and everything, but I didn't see what kind of payment plan or billing they would be doing,
So,
unless I missed it.
so with any project, like if you do a street project, it's kind of, pay as you go kind of thing. So they would just give us a monthly invoice and we'll just pay that monthly invoice. It's not a lump sum at a time, it's not the whole 75,000 at once. That's why they have a cost to exceed cost. So if we somehow miraculously get to that point, which we should not, because we don't have GIS, like a lot of these cities do, because that's by the county, stuff like that. That's where it's capped off at. But they'll give us a monthly bill, and Joni and I will, calculate that, put it in some file to keep up with the costs. And so they'll just give us a monthly invoice. And you saw the hourly rate, so they'll calculate that to this monthly invoice that's due within 30 days, like any invoice, and we'll just pay that.
That's what one of them actually had, like, if you don't pay, it's like 1.5%.
Yeah. So just like the
But I
normal,
mean, that's normal vendor, yeah.
yeah.
How are we gonna pay for this?
It's budgeted for. So that is how we get so it's from our income. So we get property taxes quarterly, correct? Okay, property taxes throughout the year, sales tax quarterly, and so that's how we do our budget. So we would just pay it through that, and then any permits that come in, that goes to general. So that's like anything like that will come in to pay for that kind of projects that we have, even for streets and stuff like that.
I was wondering if 4A would contribute any funds to it.
If they think they need to get involved, that
I mean, they did before.
yes,
On the
but
prior one that we did.
But to my knowledge, that was their own comprehensive plan. And that was divided up. That was their own type A comprehensive plan. So they put it the whole bill. This is a citywide comprehensive plan. That's going to focus on residential, obviously our water, wastewater, streets, population growth and density and zoning.
So that's what we're asking them to do, is all of this.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, EDC is like, hey, we would like to, add in more about discussion about commercial business, and that goes beyond the scope of work that we requested in our RFP. Then we can say the engineers or the firm will be willing to do it, but we can also say, hey, if you want this done and it's beyond the scope, if you want this done, you can pay for this amount that's extra that we don't want to pay for. So any of these firms will do town halls. They'll come into our community, meet with citizens, meet with developers, meet with the businesses, meet with staff, council, you name it. I'm imagining at least 3 town halls, and then probably just monthly Zoom meetings with developers or businesses or whomever needs to be in those discussions. We'll get them on files, work with our engineers.
Could we do like an advisory board?
We could set up an advisory board. We can on October, we can, make it an action item to create an advisory board for this comprehensive plan that, is 2 council members and,
Going from 4A.
4A, 4B, businesses, a developer, that interested in being part of that discussion.
Could we make it so that it can also be people that don't necessarily live in the city? Because I'm thinking of like Glenda Milton being a real estate, person. I wouldn't want to limit the advisory board to just people that live within the city.
And that's a council decision. So, it's not like a board that's in our favor, right? That's it has to be X, Y, Z. There's, this is a brand new advisory board that's temporary, so the city council can do the guidelines.
If they have a vested interest in the city, then I would
Yeah.
think there'd be a problem with that.
Well, and if they
I
do
mean,
realty here in town,
Right.
then absolutely, I don't see an issue with that either.
Okay.
Yeah. But if we have like some random person in Dallas wants to chip in, well, it makes no sense.
No.
Yeah, but they have a vested interest for sure.
And it's 12 months.
Um,
That
So it can be, like I mentioned, fluke, right? If somehow we're not on the ball, right? It can go longer, but the RFP hasn't stated, to be done by June. So it's 9 months, 12 months at the worst case scenario, but 9 months process. It shouldn't take that long, honestly, unless we just schedule it that way. Town halls every quarterly to be 9 months, right? And then my hope and goal, as long as everything goes smoothly, right? That's always the key. Everything goes smoothly is to have it presented to the council by July, if not early August, so we can budget do that as well. Figure out our future.
I
how
just
we.
go by what they add here on the.
Yeah.
Yes, one of them did 12. And that's their way of being safe. They want to over deliver, not deliver. So they don't want to say 6 months and it takes a year to know about them. Yeah, but I'll be on ball, communicating with them. I'm going to get as many files that I have. That's engineering, road based, wastewater to get the ball still started and get our engineers immediately involved to get any files they have that they can involved going.
Yeah, I like this from.
The MHS.
I like the Westwood in that there was a lot of people in there that were familiar with writing bonds and and I didn't see that in here as far as the experience, but it could just be that they didn't highlight that.
Right, and you might have to go into like some of the personal.
Yes, on there, in the MHS and the farm services, it says grandfather.
Yeah.
This is land planning, grant writing, landscape architect.
Yeah.
3D rendering and.
Okay.
Yeah, so you might have to look into the individual project team who's done some of that stuff. But all of these guys have done hundreds of plans that's going to focus on, okay, how are you going to pay for this kind of cost? Well, future, you're going to have to get a grant or a bond or whatever. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I like this.
Are there any grants out there for these?
For a comprehensive plan, sometimes there is. It just depends on the year.
Yeah,
And especially since with the end of the year,
probably too late to be.
I would say, especially since we've already gone through the project and the RFP, it would probably be too late to try to apply for a grant. Grants take months. So
Yeah,
you
I know.
report.
I know.
And this will hopefully last that long, unless we have random growth that no one expected. This firm doesn't expect this should last us at least 10 years. Plan.
I
So
was gonna ask, is it gonna be a 10-year plan? Because the prior plan only went from 2012 to 2015.
yeah, it should. So usually, they're 5 to 10 years plans. 3-year plan. Again, that was the EDC focused one, so that might have been different. But usually, a strategic plan and master plan is like far out, trying to figure out far out, what we're going to look like in 5 to 10 years, even 30 years. How do we plan for this growth in our street infrastructure?
The MHS, the towns, they're tearing their vote for all.
Yeah.
Video of Pittsburgh, Royal City, stuff like that. You're not trying to start out with some big town. Right. They don't really understand.
Like the one
Yeah.
that's in Starlight.
I've got their population.
Yes,
So,
they understand the schematics, so they have their blurred and RFs. So I do like the fact that those go to smaller towns.
and if you scanned those little scan codes, we went in to see them. They did a great job of all of them. They did a fantastic job.
Any other questions, thoughts regarding this? That I really want to go with.
I'll make a motion that we move forward in MHS planning and design.
I couldn't hear you.
So I'll make a motion that we move forward with MHS planning and design.
You're over that. I'll second.
Second, all in favor? None opposed.
unless they follow rules.
It's always key, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Can I say something before we move on? Item, one of those resolutions. 2025-423-001. We were supposed to do a roll call vote on that.
I asked Vance about that, so we didn't have to do it.
We did actually.
We've already done
We-
it.
did that at the beginning of the month. Oh, okay.
On item number 10. Consider discuss and act upon approval or disapproval for a economic development board fiscal year 2025-2026 budget.
So I presented this to the EDC at our last meeting. And we made some edits, and the edits is 17, is the ones that I edited that they requested me to do, for the professional services, the 5,000 for the retail coach, and the increase in business incentives, motions, and spread that out evenly. And miscellaneous expenses, just in case something happens that does not have a line item, was increased as well.
What's the complex? What does that complex mean?
That, I believe that's the one that we need to zero out. The complex was
What's
the,
down there?
sorry. The complex was the 4A building that Verona purchased, from the 4A, and I think we just kind of missed that, but, the 4A did mention to zero that line item out at their meeting. So we'll just have to amend
Yeah.
that.
That would just be going to miscellaneous expenses. Anything, because the Elm buildings or land, that needed these kind of expenses, they wanted to zero out, to read up to miscellaneous expenses, professional services, and business incentives. So that just will be moved to miscellaneous expenses. And the insurance, if you're wondering about the insurance, that's because of the land they will need some sort of insurance in there. They just currently do not, so they didn't know the cost, so they kept it at the department that they had for buildings. I think that's,
That's gonna be another zero out.
yeah. So $13,046 would go to miscellaneous expenses. That was discussed in the EC, it's just the status. Yeah.
Okay, I make a motion that we approve it as it to be amended.
As amended, yes.
As amended, yes. I'll second.
All in favor? And number 11, discussion of placing items on future agendas. Anything?
No. I've already done so much.
David?
Nothing.
Linda?
I have some mail, I'll do it next time.
Okay. Either one of you have anything?
Nothing crossing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, item number 12 is adjournment.
Make a motion on the adjourn.
We have a second.
Good.
We'll give Trent a second. Okay. 7:29.
That was